What is up, guys? Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and today we're going to be installing a Scotidi Race Development full angle kit on my V6 Mustang drift build. And if you see right here, I got quite a few parts. This is all the angle kit for my rear-wheel drive big turbo K-swapped Subaru Impreza. That also changes it to a 350Z front hub, Brembo rotor, and STI Brembo brake. But that's not why you're watching this video, because we haven't installed that yet. We're not going to install that for a little bit. It's a little bit more intuitive because it's full control arms, brake swap, everything like that. We just got this nice little simple Scotidi Race Development angle kit to install, which hopefully isn't too complicated because there is no instructions. I think they have them online though if I really wanted to. These are the arms that go to the front knuckle to change the mounting point, bag full of Heim joints, more bolts and little Heim joint inserts, stickers of course, and here is the full control arm that is getting replaced on both sides, all nicely wrapped, and I have no idea what this is. Just because I'm curious, I'm going to go ahead and draw a little line where it's straight, and that gives me one measurement, and then I'm going to turn the wheel all the way to see how much factory angle this has. So using this digital angle finder, we can see it's about 30 degrees of angle. I think this is how you measure angle. 120 degrees total angle. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. I'm just assuming. So now we got everything removed, and when I installed the coilovers, I went ahead and already removed the dust shield, but there's a little bit more you have to do to it. In between the tie rod and the ball joint, there's this little tab, so you actually have to fully cut this bracket off the cast. That way the little angle quickener, whatever they call it, can bolt flushly onto the bottom. And I also already cut my subframe out. I'm not sure if this is right or enough, but I guess we'll see when we put the wheel on and try to turn it. The front sway bar is right there also because I fully removed that with the coilover install too. There's just two bolts there, and then the linkage, super easy to remove. So we can compare them. The logo is going to face up, so we can see this is the driver's side right here. On the 5/8 Heim joint side, it says to leave 5 to 6 threads showing, so I put these all the way in, so we're going to go ahead and loosen them some to where we get 5 or 6 thread, and then 1 to 2 threads on the 3/4 ball joint side, and you can adjust this for greater track width according to the online instructions. So next we have this little Ackerman plate we have to mount. I'm not sure which one is default, but you have these 2 bolts here. I know it definitely goes here, and then I don't exactly know which hole to go through or which side to poke them through. So I just chose the middle hole to start out with. You want the bolts going upwards, so that way whenever this thing gets locked in, you can undo the nuts and change it without having to fully remove this guy. Pull the bolts out and change your Ackerman just like that. Then you take your 1/2" 20 by 3.75 bolt, and you're going to go ahead and drop that down. So it should look something like this, fully pressed in. These large cylinder bushings go in. They don't pop into the Heim joints. They're just little spacers. And then that's how you get the control arm to attach with the supplied nuts and bolts to go through it, with the 5 to 6 threads showing on each one. All right, now here is everything mocked up. If I had a picture like this to go off of, it would have been way easier to follow. So this heim is larger than this heim. So this one uses the 2 shorter ones to go into the heim for the bolt to come all the way through from the top. This is the longer bolt that goes all the way inside, and you tighten the nut on the bottom. For the extended tie rod, I watched the video. He threaded this all the way in, so I put this all the way in with a few threads showing, and then it needs the longer small heim joint on the top and the shorter one on the bottom for the nut, and then you put the bolt in through the top before you bolt the little quick steer adapter on. The Ackerman plate, which can be adjusted, you put the bolts in through the bottom, so that way you can actually remove them. You just put a wrench on there and you can change the angle ever so slightly. And then there's a black bolt that came with it, and you thread that into here. The other plate goes onto the caliper, and that way it adjusts how much steering angle, so it's kind of like a bump stop for your steering. But now we got everything mocked up, so I'm going to start tightening everything down. So we got everything on now, and if you can see, it is very close to the tie rod. Right here it was hitting initially, so if you hit the tie rod on this side, you have to come over to this side and back this 19mm bolt out until it touches and doesn't hit. We're also very close on the control arm and the tire right there, so you can adjust that if you are going to rub also. But we went ahead and did an eyeball alignment to get it as straight as possible with the wheels off the ground. So I guess now is the moment of truth to take it off the jack stands and see what she does. We can already tell we got a bunch of camber on here, got that drift stance.
You floated.
We did that earlier up there. And now the new angle is pretty much 50. So that is what, 20 degrees of angle added. And this looks wild. You can see the full suspension too. And just like that, guys, we are one step closer to actually drifting this thing. So hopefully you enjoyed this slightly more in-depth video than I saw posted, which is why I wanted to put my little pizzazz on it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, follow my TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everything under that username right there. And motherfucking peace. P.S. I also have my Subaru Baja on a t-shirt and sticker if you want to go to the link in my bio and check out my merch.